am Dave, founder of Halloween Year Round, and I'm here to recap the latest episode of Chucky Season 3, Episode 5, Death Becomes Her. I'm here with my buddy Chucky here, and boy, you were busy tonight. So real quick, we are going to get into spoilers for the episode. This is going to be a quick recap and my review, and then kind of my predictions of where we're going to go from here. So, aftermath of that Halloween party, everyone's kind of separated. Everyone's kind of picking up the pieces. We've got Jake and Devin kind of playing detective, going to the worst doctor in the world for HIPAA and finding out that Chucky is in fact dying and thinking maybe they can use it against them. Maybe they can just wait it out, have a normal life. Their relationship is, I feel like they're finally getting to be able to just be teenagers, and these kids have been through so much freaking trauma since season 1 because of this guy here. So it's nice to see them actually just enjoying time. It's nice to see Lexi, who I know she's still trying to play Grant, the president's older son, who is, still feeling kind of hurt, like she manipulated him just to get into the White House and see Chucky. But I get the sense that even though she's still playing him, she genuinely, when she tells him she's sorry for that, she genuinely means it, and she wishes that she didn't have to, and she misses, let's not forget, Lexi was the preppy, popular girl, in season 1, and, her world's just been wrecked. As far as the Chucky storyline goes, my man, he did some things. I'm not sure how I feel about, the random supernatural things happening in the White House where, the murders are kind of being replayed and people are seeing visions of it. Not because I'm not a fan of, a good, creepy, supernatural thing, but because it's not really something we ever saw in the series before, and we're introducing the idea of, this Catholic infection, as the New Age doctor called it. I was raised Catholic too, and look how I turned out. So I think we're introducing a lot of new mythos into this. For the longest time, it was all about the voodoo, it was all about Damballa, and we're kind of introducing other things, and me being the, shall we say, continuity purist that I am, just kind of wants to make sure all of it makes sense. And then the meta comedy fan in me loved that, you can tell the writers are just having a blast with Chucky, and they always do. There's this great scene where he's watching, other famous movies about creepy dolls. He's watching The Boy, and then he switches to Dead Silence, and he's like, this guy didn't even get a franchise. And then he continues his feud with Megan by watching her dance moves and saying that, he stole her moves. And what's most interesting about that, and his commentary on other creepy dolls, is that tells us that the Chucky universe is a universe where all of these other, creepy doll movies exist, when in real life, a lot of them, I think, were inspired by him. So it's weird to see that even with Chucky being a real thing, it still inspired movies like The Boy, like Dead Silence, like Annabelle, or not Annabelle, Megan, maybe Annabelle too. But maybe it also means that, in our real world, those movies were inspired by those filmmakers growing up watching the Chucky movies. Maybe in this universe, those filmmakers still exist and were just inspired by real life stories of this Chucky doll. And, we saw already in Seed of Chucky, there's an in-universe movie about Chucky being made. So maybe it kind of all makes more sense then. And maybe I'm just thinking too much about it. I kind of have that problem. I think my favorite moment it's towards the end. It's where you've got Chucky and Tiffany, having a phone call. This is the first time they've talked to each other since the end of season 2, when things didn't end so well for them, shall we say. But there was a real kind of poignancy to their conversation. I really liked how you felt like they've had their ups and downs. Tiffany even says, as for as many times as we tried to disembowel each other, they've always kind of been ride or die. They've always kind of they're like a toxic couple that are both so dysfunctional that they can really only be with each other because they're not good with, and like they would destroy anyone else. But together, when they're not trying to kill each other, it's actually kind of sweet, and you get this finality in this conversation and this emotion, between both of them, that their relationship's been going on for over 35 years, ever since the original, when she was his girlfriend. So you really feel that in that moment. And as much as the writers are having fun doing like meta jokes with Chucky saying, fuck you, Mithrigan, it's also kind of remembering to have good character moments. And then, of course, our biggest bombshell, no pun intended, is he finally kills Devon Sawa for, I think, the fourth time in this series, when he takes out the president and kills him. And oh my god, the most gruesome manner possible, gouging his eyes out. Like, that was a full, Cillian Murphy 28 Days Later kill. For those who remember 28 Days Later, that's another movie. These are called references. Just a really, like, gleefully grotesque kill that I just had so much fun watching. And I think Chucky's going to have even more fun after he pulled the little card that has the nuclear codes out of his pocket. Now, I'm not sure if Chucky is aware, but he is going to have to somehow impersonate the president, because he has to give the order, and then like the Joint Chiefs of Staff meet, and then all these other steps kind of have to follow through before a nuclear strike can happen. But they're really raising the stakes this time. That they've essentially made it so Chucky is backed into a corner, and Andy's gone, Nika's gone. We have our trio of teenagers, and they're kind of doing their thing. But this could very well be, these next 3 episodes could very well be Chucky's farewell. This could be it for him. I could see the show ending here, ending with a bang, no pun intended, or let's be honest, pun very intended, with this guy trying to actually launch a nuclear strike. And what better way for Chucky to go out? He always took such joy in killing, that killing on a massive scale, that's just the next step up for him. So I'm coming out of this, as far as like mid-season premieres go, there's always kind of a lot of catching up to do. Like, oh, what are the characters up to now? I kind of like how this one jumped right into it, and you can tell that it was, the writer's strike and the actor strike definitely disrupted everything, and that had that not happened, I don't even think they would have split it. And this episode was never meant to be a mid-season premiere. It was just meant to be like the next thing to happen. So very excited to see what happens next. I called it halfway through here. I'm like, Chucky's going to launch a nuclear strike, or at least he's going to try to. Because you're in the White House. What else can you do? Now I'm predicting that at some point, we know Andy's got to come back. Nika's got to come back. They're all going to kind of converge together like they always do at the end. Tiffany's going to somehow end up at the White House. They're all going to be in the same location. And I think it'll come down to, if this is truly to be the end, I think Chucky won't actually cause a nuclear strike. But if they're planning on making a season 4, I could see Don Mancini going like, he launches one and it ends on a cliffhanger. Like, what's going to happen? Where's it going to go? So let me know what you think is going to happen. Leave me a comment. Where do you think this series is going? What was your favorite part of this episode? Like, share, subscribe, all the YouTube stuff. If you don't, you may end up possessed with the soul of the Lakeshore Strangler. And as always, every day is Halloween.